using a photo on my computer monitor. I'm thinking about my composition here, and I want to break up my surface into kind of thirds here. I'm using a slightly faded marker here to get a lighter tone. I don't know if I want to add the trees or not. It just feels kind of like noise, but the reflection's kind of nice. The reflection of the tree. Make this a little bit longer. Sort of condensing two traffic islands together. I don't know if I'll leave the trees in for the painting. But that is how I sketch stuff out. I just plan it out, lights and darks, so that way I know my values when I go to paint. All right, this is an unsuccessful painting, and I am going to go in based on the drawing I did earlier, and we're going to fix this painting. So the first thing I want to do is look at my composition again and figure out what I need to change in this original composition. I'm going to mix some black using ultramarine blue and burnt umber. I have turp here to the side. Oh, I need to put out my liquid too. My liquid there. And I use a painting rag. My rag hand has a glove on it to protect my hand. Okay, so again, thinking about thirds. I think I'm going to move everything up a little bit. So right now, everything I think is too low. Just a hair. And then this is my 1/3 there. I got my factory, my boat, my rainbow is like in there. So my IKEA is going to come up here. All right, and then I've got my tree. So thinking about a composition point of view, I've got a rainbow here that's arcing that way. I'm going to have a tree that I'm going to exaggerate there, arcing this way. I've got the edge of the parking lot. So this is going to go, and this is going to go this way. So these are sort of mirroring each other a little bit, creating some balance. I've got my real light area here, coming down like this. I've got my other real light area. Real light area is, so this is like a diagonal. And I didn't exaggerate, it needs to come out more like this. And then my light is here. I'm going to sort of line that up with my factory there on the boat. Might put that box truck in that's in the drawing. I kind of like that. Also means that there's something in the parking lot, because I think in the parking lot there's cars in the distance, but like they're too far away and they'll just like look like blobs. So, all right. So I work dark to light. I have a whole assortment of paintbrushes here. So I'll start pulling some out that I want to use. So my darkest darks is the IKEA and some of these traffic islands where little planters are. So I am going to mix a black using my ultramarine, which I started doing, and my burnt umber. I'm going to put a little more blue in because I want it to lean blue. Add just a touch of titanium white, some liquid. Okay, I'm going to bring my IKEA up, my tree. Let's see. This is going to come up a little bit. Okay. More blue, more brown. Put a little bit of terp. I'm using odorless terpenoid, odorless paint thinner. So if I say terp, I really just mean the odorless terpenoid. And I think I want to make this just like one big one.
I'm getting too low again. Let's go up. This is going to come up because the top of that factory is almost at the same height as the IKEA roof line. So that comes up. Things. And then this is over here. It's that domed building. And then the ship is going to be
like that height. And that box truck's there. And I've got my lights down there. Okay. So I've got a lot of things I'm competing with from the prior version of the painting, which is still on here. So now most of my color scheme is a sort of purpley blue. So I'm going to mix a bunch of that and just slap it onto the canvas or onto the panel that I'm using. I'll get out a palette knife and just mix it up using a palette knife. So let's see, we've got, this is Winsor Purple, which is also dioxazine purple. That's the other name for it. We've got the ultramarine blue. Let's see, it's purpley. I'm going to take a touch of red. This is naphtha red. Put a little liquid in there because these are all slow drying paints. This red is very, very strong, so you really don't need very much of it. All right, that's pretty nice and dark. All right, there's a grayness and a brownness to the purple color. So let's see if I can get. That is too blue. So this is Spanish Earth by Williamsburg, which is earth tone, leaning towards the brown. Again, very strong, very slow dryer. I think we're close. I'm gonna add a little more white. Pretty close. A little more purple, blue, liquid. Okay. Do another version of it, a little more of the Spanish Earth, a little more red, a little more purple, a little more liquid. That Spanish Earth has like a interesting sort of. The other oil paints are really smooth, and Spanish Earth has a little bit of grittiness to it, which is just the natural pigment in there. There we go. I think these colors are a little bit darker than what I want, but I can always lighten them. All right, let's see. I'm going to use a big filbert brush here. This is a number 4. And let's see. Let's go in with. All right, my bluer colors are on the one side, on the left-hand side. That's still really purple. Let's see. All right, I am going to, the brush, make a bluer version of that. I am really cruising to the pink there. Get a little bit of that purple, a little more blue, a little more white. I like mixing with the brush because then I get a nice little bit of a body feel for it, but palette knife's nice for mixing really big batches of color. And then, all right, let's see. Liquid just helps it dry. That's closer to what I want. Okay, so now I'm going to start blocking in big areas. I can add some of the nuance and subtlety later. That's actually too much. Use my palette knife like an eraser. The box truck's going to be in there. This has almost an. This is my. The box truck's going to be in there. This has almost an. This is my cerulean blue. I did not clean my brush in between because I'm going to use what was in the brush to kind of get that other. Now for this darker one. And it can be even darker. Using all my ultramarine. I think I need more ultramarine. Oops. a little green in there, a little dark green. There we go. Yeah. So at this point, it's really about blocking in big shapes of color here. You can see I'm mixing my darker sky colors. Trying to block in that IKEA blue. And then wherever I see that same dark color or throughout the rest of the painting, I'm trying to block it in as well. The sky on the one side of the rainbow was definitely one color, and on the other side it was a different color, and I was struggling to kind of determine how to show that and show the rainbow in the painting. So you can see here I'm sort of playing around with some of the colors, trying to sort of figure out how I was going to interpret the rainbow colors and the sky colors when it becomes that sort of unusual stormy cloud, as well as capturing some of that glow that's coming in from the rain, from lights on the parking lot, and the sun setting. And as you can see, if I'm moving around the surface, painting one area, if I see that same color in another area, again, I lay it in. Just keep building up those layers and those colors. I was using a mixture of cad red and some cad medium, cad yellow light, Indian yellow, and a purple, a Windsor purple. And you can see at this point the painting's really starting to come together, so it's putting in shapes that start to really define the edges now. Trying to figure out where those reflections are in the wet parking lot. Now some of the details are starting to come in. Figuring out trees, figuring out some of the lights that are in the parking lot. I wasn't sure if I wanted to put in the trees, but I felt like they helped the composition. I felt that their reflection was interesting in the wet pavement. Just trying to work with that unusual sky color here, still fiddling around with that rainbow. And don't be afraid to use that palette knife. Scrape stuff out if it's not working for you. So this is how I took a painting that I was not satisfied with. I worked on the drawing to figure out how I could fix it, and then came back in and was able to salvage a painting that had been sitting there for a while when I wasn't quite sure whether I could make it work or not. And I'm really pleased with the end result. I feel like it came out well in the end. And I'm working here with oil on a birch ply uh, panel. And it's a 12 by 16 inch panel. So nice hard surface. Trying to get those straight lines in. Everything seems to tip at a certain point. This is the finished result.